Okay, so 3, 2, 1, sync. Well, welcome people to my second narrated flight, in which I have steamed up FatSharks because they're on my head. It's always a bad idea. Let's clean this off first. Then I will start again. Okay, welcome to my second narrated flight. I'm back in my kind of boring field, and that's because I've just switched over a component on my quad. I've changed over my FrSky receiver to one that hopefully actually does telemetry. So I wanted to go somewhere familiar to try that, and also be talking about my Suppo OSD, see how that works. At the moment you can hopefully see ground crawling that it thinks it's 27 kilometres away from home. It's because it's just remembering where it was last time, so what I'm going to do is press the reset button. And yes, now it thinks it's back home again. So, and some dog walkers just close who will think I'm mental because I've got so many bits of wire hanging out of me. I'm looking somewhere between a cyborg and a suicide bomber. And let's hope this is okay. Right, so let's get this thing in the air if we can first. Make sure it's all happy. I was a little bit nervous about changing configurations after I really just got it going again nicely. So look, there I am. I'll split with wires. Dog walker somewhere over there. And straight away, Pigeon's doing a marvellous job. Telling me it's picked up satellites, it still thinks I'm at home. 9 satellites, all telling it hasn't moved yet. So after a good review of this, anyway. And it's finally decided we're actually moving. So this is an OSD, a cheap OSD by Suppo called the Pigeon, and almost straight away you hear something called Pigeon, you're like, well, that's hardly inspirational, is it? It's like hawk, eagle, something lovely like a flamingo, but no, it's gone for Pigeon. Essentially a flying rodent, but it is cheap as chips. I think I paid about 35 odd UK pounds for it, and some things it does okay, some things utterly rubbish at. Most importantly, when flying for me, it's got along the top, you'll see the long and latitude to get our position, and I've checked this against my iPhone. I've literally just seen where it is in the field, gone with my iPhone, and got a marking of it, and it's pretty close. It's within a couple of metres. What's utterly rubbish about it are things like, if you look at the middle right hand side, that's the height. It's telling me I'm at 25 metres, which is, not the case. Maybe at 10. If I go down lower, I'm now maybe at 2 metres. It's like, no, you're still at 21. And that's because it's trying to do the altimeter stuff from GPS coordinates, which is frankly rubbish. It's not very accurate at all. You need something that matches barometric pressure to do that. So on the left hand side you've got the speed there, which is reasonable, 25 kilometres an hour. You can change this all to Imperial in the latest version, but I've tended to stick to metric because although I quite like miles an hour, the other stuff in metric's working quite well for me. So another annoyance, that top left flashing thing there is the RSSI. Even though I haven't got anything plugged in, at the moment it's flashing 0. Sometimes it just decides to flash somewhere between 90 and 0 for no apparent reason, just that it wants to. What else is wrong with it? Oh yeah, the voltage reading. You might have seen when I first turned this on, it was reading something like 12.9, when the actual battery voltage was about 12.5. The one underneath that is the reading from the Immersion RC, which is a steady 5 volts, is what it should be. But that bit's okay. And more importantly, the heading and distances are good. So although it's nice and friendly to have an arrow, what you've got here, if you look at the bottom middle of the screen, is a heading direction. So what it's basically telling me at the moment is if I turn around 155 odd degrees to the left, then I should go towards myself, and it's now saying 30 degrees, 10 degrees this way. Arrow's easier, but this gets me home, so it's okay. Of course, the only thing about multi-rotors is if you start flying backwards, it will start saying, what is it? Yeah, that you want to go 170 degrees that way. So before entrusting your direction, you need to make sure you're actually flying in a forward direction. But my biggest bugbear with this is, and this seems to be only on this new 2.3 version, it tends to somehow lose the OSD recording from the ground recording if I go through static. In my FatSharks, everything is absolutely fine and stays there, but should I go through static, and the reason I'm flying here is I usually can pick up some here. If I go through static, for some reason the ground recording just can't pick anything up. And this is not just my horrible cheap £25 DVR, this is happening on Arcus as well. Yeah, this is where I normally get, for some reason, quite bad interference there, so as far as I know, it could have lost a picture. Oh, that was interesting, I got a beep. The reason I swapped over my receivers, I had a FrSky, I think it was a V8FR-II, which was listed in their two-way telemetry range, but as it turned out, was just compatible with the module. It didn't actually do any telemetry at all, because what I wanted to get was the audible beeps to tell me my module's like having problems getting to my radio. This is, oh there we go, got to. Oh, there is a dodgy area there. So this is now the, I think it's the D8-II or something, which has extra little telemetry ports, and as we've just heard there, manages to beep when it's losing a signal. This is quite interesting. This is all of 200 odd meters there, and the reason I flew here is because I always get some breakup of the video, and it sounds like I'm getting breakup of the signal here, and there's absolutely no reason for it, as far as you can tell. It is a field, we're about 1 kilometre from the nearest road. There doesn't seem to be anything here, but presumably there must be. So let's fly on now, see if we can find any other dodgy areas. I was going to go through the trees that I did last time, to see what would happen. There's me. I can hear dog walkers somewhere. We're going to think I am mental. Oh, we're trying to do our best we can. So, let's line up and go between these trees, see what sort of loss we get on the picture, and see if we get any beeps from the FrSky module to tell me it doesn't know where I am. Oh, actually, as far as I know, the beep is quite conservative, so the first beep is like, you know, might have missed the odd packet. So there's a tiny bit of breakup just behind the tree. No problem on the FrSky at all. I'm all happy. I'm not too happy because I've still steamed up my goggles here, so it's like I'm flying through fog at the moment. That's because you should never put your goggles on your head. But if you're like me and you wear glasses, you kind of lose place to put them up there on your head. You try waving at these people, see if they want to wave back. They are, I can't see them. Yeah, but there's a dog coming towards me. Trying to call it back. Always a little bit terrifying. That dog is in the field. Trying to call the dog over. Looks like I'm going to track the dog over here. Follow me, dog. This way. Hopefully he'll be following me and away from my actual place I am. Chill out a bit. I'll be fascinated to know if my OSD is still in the ground recording. It's fine in the goggles. If you can tell. Anywhere else. Got a minute left, so I'm just going again, zip through these trees, just see if there's any degradation in any of the signals. Part of the reason for wanting an audible RSSI alert, or any sort of RSSI, is to just know that I'm going to hit a failsafe. Although I've got the Narrated really great at taking you home, should it failsafe, there's certain areas you might want to. If I'm out in the middle of the field, going along straight, and I get some beeps, I might just think, oh, it's just a dodgy area, I'll just carry on. But if I'm going under tree cover, as I do here, and it's beeping and it's, you know, sustained tree cover, then I might think, well, I want to go out, because the first thing NAS will do if it hits a failsafe is go straight up in the air, 20 metres, and as clever as they are, they're not self-aware yet. They don't know that the tree's above them, so it's basically going to nicely plonk itself in a tree. Oh, I forgot to point out, the radar display I kind of like on the Pigeon. It's basically showing me as an arrow coming towards myself as the cross. So there's my 9 minutes 30 alarm on my radio. So I'm going to bring myself in for a landing. I'm really fogged up. I've done a terrible job here with my FatSharks. It was really screwed. I mean, it's sometimes like that for the first flight, I find. You need to just leave them out, getting it right. So I land FPV here. I find the easiest way to do this is to come along straight along the path where it's a bit, there's nice short grass, so I don't have to think much about it. Yeah, looks good. Let's bump it down. Okay, flight over. And thanks once again for flying with me. Shut up beeping. And I'll see you next time, hopefully from a different location, because I'm pretty happy that that receiver checks out fine, so I'm completely happy with the change I made. Hooray! Bye!